All right. Okay. Well, I know you can hear me. That's a fact. As a matter of fact, let me turn it up just to make sure. I'm gonna do a microphone check. Testing, testing. One, two, three. As a matter of fact, let me turn it up just to make sure. I'm gonna do a microphone check. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Yeah, it's on. It's on. Okay, so what is Amazon VPC? Earlier, I made some really stupid mistakes. Like, I don't know. That's the thing about me. It's funny. I was talking to my. Uh, I was talking about my son, and he picked up this weird trait from me. It's like this slowness. It's like we're so smart and slow at the same time. Like it was right in front of my face when I had to pick. When it said IPv4, and really that's the IP address. That's your typical IP address. But anyway, what is Amazon VPC? Amazon Virtual Private Cloud enables you to launch AWS resources into a virtual network that you've defined. I don't know what's going on. Why is things changing? What's loading in the background? I didn't try to open something. Oh boy, somebody's probably hacked into my computer or something. I don't know. That's why I need to go ahead and give me a VPN. Oh my gosh. Why? Well, you know what? It's probably meant to be. I don't want to close that. I'm going to leave that open. Alright. Let me finish reading this. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud enables you to launch AWS resources into a virtual network that you define. This virtual network closely resembles a traditional. Why is that happening? A traditional network that you'd operate in your own data center, with the benefits of using the scalable. Yo, I'm not pressing nothing. I'm telling you, stuff is just happening today. I'm telling you, it's like the devil is alive and he's using everything, even the computer. But okay. Let me start all over. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud. Amazon VPC. So that's what VPC stands for. Virtual Private Cloud. It's easy to remember. That's not hard. Okay, it enables you to launch AWS service resources into a virtual network that you've defined. See that? I knew it. I was right. Oh, I didn't even read this and I was right. I said it probably has something to do with connecting the services together and linking them inside your network. And that's exactly what it is. This virtual network closely resembles a traditional network that you'd operate in your own data center. Resembles a traditional network that you operate in your own data center, with the benefits of using the scalable infrastructure of AWS. So in other words, instead of you using AWS, instead of you like having to have your own database and buy up all these computer hardware servers and hard drives and a bunch of stuff, right? and having to hook that up and then install the software on those and get those up and running and then get those configured and then you gotta set up the programming. Now you gotta program all of that stuff, and on top of your why are you even doing this in the first place? By the time you set all that up, you might forget what your profit. You probably be done lost passion for whatever you was trying to do. So this actually helps the little man. So it's like the big man helps the little man scale up to a big man, right? That's what this is all about, right? Big brother helps little brother type thing. Operate in your own data center with the benefits of using the scalable infrastructure of AWS. Okay, I know it took a long time for this to get through that, just a little bit of information. All right, let's look at the concept. Amazon VPC concepts. Amazon VPC is the networking layer for Amazon EC2. If you're new to Amazon EC2, see what is Amazon EC2. Now, we just went over what EC2 is. It probably would help to click that link. I'm probably gonna read that. I haven't read this stuff, but I'm starting to. All right. In the Amazon EC2 user guide for Linux instances, to get a brief overview. See, now you see why I start with Linux. I don't know too much about using Windows with EC2. Okay, the following are the key concepts for VPCs. A virtual private cloud is a virtual network dedicated to your AWS account. Okay, now a subnet is a range of IP addresses in your VPC, in your virtual private network. So that just sets the range of okay. Now when you put it in that light, it makes sense. When it said it before, when I highlighted like the little question mark, it said that before, but now I kind of get what it's talking about. All right, and a route table contains a set of rules called routes that are used to determine where network traffic is directed. I'm sorry, I'm trying to. I was still thinking about something while I was reading that. I wasn't really comprehending what I was reading. I tend to do that. I'm sorry. It's all throughout childhood. I've always done that. It's like weird. So I have to stop. And actually, what I was thinking about was still that subnet thing about the IP ranges, because that's kind of where I got stuck at when I was creating my own VPC. I was like, okay, what do I set the range at? And now it's like, oh, okay, if I was creating my own VPC, I probably set the range specifically at a specific IP address. And if I wanted to add a specific EC2 instance to associate with that, I'll just put that at the, like, let's say if that was the main, I need to stop saying, if that was the main EC2, let's say this is going to be the only EC2 instance I'm going to use, the main one, okay? And I wanted to have that VPC set the range. I can just set it to the actual IP address, right? And if I wanted to add another EC2 instance and use that same VPC, right, then I could edit and add another IP address. You dig? All right. So that now I can understand that. So we can just move on. See, this is how I understand stuff. I just read through it and I talk through it so I can really fully understand what's going on and picture in my mind what's going on. All right, now the route table. What the heck is a route table? It contains a set of rules called routes that are used to determine where network traffic is directed. So I am a little familiar with route tables. If I'm not, it says traffic. So whenever you think of traffic, the first thing you think of is traffic, right? You want traffic coming to your website. How are they going to get access to your website? They're going to enter in your web address, your whatever.com, right? And that is where you say, okay, I want that type of access. You can set that up on the route table. I'm thinking, and in the security group, as far as the EC2. I don't know. Route table. I probably gotta read a little bit more on route table, but I'm trying to grasp that too. It says what? Okay, let's just read what it says again. Maybe I'm trying to I tend to overthink things. All right. A route table contains a set of rules. And then you can add rules. You can add, called routes. So whenever you want to route something to that table in that network, you know, that's when you add a rule for that specific case scenario that are used to determine where network traffic is directed. That are used to determine where this is used to determine where network. So if I was asked this on exam, what is a route table? Well, number one, I know that it contains a set of rules called routes, right? That's why they call it a route table, and that they're used to determine where the network traffic is directed. I know you're saying like, okay, you just read that. But they're right. It's the simplest way you could really explain that, to determine where network traffic is directed. Oh, the key word is network. Now I get it. Network traffic, like, you know, if you have a really sophisticated network, you really gonna make use of route table. See, I don't really care too much for a route table because my network isn't that large yet. Once my network grows, I would definitely be working with route tables, because I'll be dealing with multiple customers, right? And I'll be building so many different websites and different networks. You get what I'm saying. It will. Well, I don't know. I don't even know if that relates to what I'm even talking about. But anyway, let's just move on. An internet gateway. So a route table, what is a route table? Let's close my eyes without reading. Well, number one, I know it is a set of rules, and the rules are called routes, right? And this determines your traffic in the network, how the traffic is routed throughout the network. And that's with my eyes closed. Ooh, boy. So that means it's in my brain. Okay, so let's move on. An internet gateway is a horizontally scaled, redundant, and highly available VPC component that allows communication between instances in your VPC, your virtual private cloud. That's what VPC stands for, and the internet. Let's go. They said a whole lot. What is it? An internet gateway? All right. I gotta drink some water for this one. This is a lot of information right here. In like a little bunch. An internet gateway is a horizontally scaled. Why is it horizontal? Horizontal. Okay, vertical is up and down. Horizontal is left and right. Yeah. I gotta make sure. Horizontal. Vertical is up and down, right? Vertical, up and down, horizontal, left and right. All right, I just want to make sure. I know that. See, that's where that slow stuff is. It's something that I know, but why do I have to double check to make sure? Never mind. Let me move on. Okay, so horizontal horizontally scaled. So it's linearly, okay, horizontally scaled. And I'm trying to imagine this. An internet gateway is horizontally scaled, redundant, and highly available virtual private cloud component. So this is a component that allows, is a horizontally scaled, redundant, and highly available VPC component that allows communication between instances in your VPC. It therefore imposes no availability risk or bandwidth constraints on your network traffic. Oh. Okay, so they said a whole lot. This is definitely something like I would want to write an article about this internet gateway and really wrapping my mind around, because it sounds really useful, especially when it, like the part where it says it therefore imposes no availability risk or bandwidth constraints on your network traffic. So this sounds like a feature that I would use to enhance some type of performance issue that I would be dealing with, probably with streaming. I'm guessing. I don't know, or maybe I don't know, because it says bandwidth constraints on your network traffic, but this is talking about network traffic. And usually, if I'm dealing with traffic, usually you probably talking about people, like traffic coming in and out of your website and transactions. That's probably the main thing you would be worried about this problem, unless you were dealing with streaming and stuff like that, But in most cases, I don't think people are trying to be the next Netflix. But if that's in that case, you were, this sounds like something that would probably work with that. So that's something that I would definitely take note of. Internet gateway. That's a big thing. That's a big deal. All right. So, but it is a component. That is a component that you can use, that I don't know everything about, but it's very interesting. Okay, now a VPC endpoint enables you to privately connect your VPC. Okay, hold on. Let's go back up here. What does the gateway have to do with the VPC again? Well, it's a VPC component. It's not just a component. It's a VPC component that allows communication between instances in your VPC and the internet. Allows communication between instances in your VPC. So let's say I have a database, right, and it's using that VPC. It's connected to that VPC instance, and I can connect, well, not database, maybe a static page, right? S3. I'm just trying to imagine. Maybe I'm just thinking too far. All right, that's another problem. I think too far ahead. All right, a VPC endpoint enables you to privately connect your VPC to supported AWS services and VPC endpoint services powered by private link without requiring an internet gateway, NAT device, VPN connection, or AWS direct connect connection. Hold on. Before I finish this, it said VPC endpoint enables you to privately connect your VPC to supported AWS services and VPC endpoint services powered by private link without requiring an internet gateway, NAT device, VPN connection, or AWS. Oh, okay, it doesn't require that. Or AWS direct connection. Instances in your VPC do not require public IP addresses to communicate with resources in the service. Traffic between your VPC and the other service does not leave the Amazon network. So it's basically a secure thing. Like I said, I knew this had something to do with access, security, and things like that. Because look at this, access Amazon VPC, accessing Amazon VPC. So I knew I was sort of pointing in the right direction. Amazon VPC is the networking layer for Amazon EC2. It said networking layer. It says it is the networking layer for Amazon EC2. If you're new to Amazon EC2, see what is Amazon EC2. Hold on, I could have sworn I just read this. The freak. Thought I pricing for Amazon accessing. Yeah, this is where I was at. You can create, access, and manage your VPCs using any of the following interfaces. AWS Management Console provides a web interface that you can use to access your VPCs. AWS Command Line Interface provides commands for a broad set of AWS services, including Amazon VPC, and is supported on Windows, Mac, and Linux. For more information, see AWS Command Line Interface. Now, I am not going to front. Now, this is now I can see why a person would use one of the Windows, because let's say if I only had a Linux or Mac distribution and I wanted to use that AWS client, it's easier to use that Windows instance because their client is better. Windows. And that's the good thing about Windows. It really works good with, downloading. I'm not going to say it's just easier as far as like just installing the, I have it on here on Windows. Where are you? Let me look. This client that they're talking about, let me show you. I might as well, because you might be like, what is a CLI? That's a client. That's short for client. AWS client. And what a client is, it's weird. Why they come up with these weird names that, like, you think like client is what you refer to a person, right? As a person, but in the programming world, a client is it's like a software tool that it's a package, a software package where it allows you to make little, kind of like I was showing you earlier about the badge commands. Hold on, while I'm talking, I should be looking for this app. AWS client is somewhere. Oh, it's one of the recent, so I should be able to find it in here. Okay, no, that's Amazon Workspaces. This is weird how I can't find things. Oh, I know where it is. It's on my desktop, man. AWS client, where you at? I got so much. I gotta clean this thing up. I'm just so unorganized. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm organized when it comes to certain things. Don't get me wrong, but I can do a lot better than this. This screen, how could you find anything on here? At least sort it. Let me just right click and sort. That says get back. Okay, there you go. PowerShell. Yeah, I'll open here. Open it up. And just show you what I'm talking about. Like when I'm reading stuff, I like to know what the heck I'm reading. I'm not one of those people that can just read through stuff and just they know it. Like, nah, I'm slow. I gotta take my time and crawl through it and be, lay in it and swim in it and all kinds of stuff before I can really feel comfortable and say, okay, I know that. Okay, this is a PowerShell. This is PowerShell 7. And so what I could do is, I think, the command is right there from last time. And I just press up if I forget what I did. How did I even call this thing up? It's not up here. I think I just say, okay, Ubio static. Let's say I wanted to change this. Ubio Studio, right? And just do that. Because I already registered in with my badge thing, I'm already connected. So it's a lot of steps that were already skipped. What's going on? It says warning, multiple variants of AWS tools for PowerShell. To avoid problems with commandlet auto input. It is suggested it only install one variant. Oh, it's saying I got more than one. Okay. I see what they're saying. They're saying so it doesn't double, do twice the thing. No credentials specified or obtained from. Okay, yeah. I was wondering about that. The credentials. So I got to do that every time. I'm not gonna get into all of that because I have to look at a document for that. Let's stay on track here. But yeah, that's the client. Basically, I didn't log in as my IAM user, and it's a certain way you got to do it on there, and I'm not gonna go through all that. But that's the client that they're talking about. You can actually use that to create your own VPC. You can use that client to do anything. As a matter of fact, if you know how to use the client in the PowerShell, you could do more with that than you can do on an actual interface. You could automate things, and man, you could be a beast machine with that thing. But you just gotta know how to do it. Take the time to understand, wrap your mind around everything, and that's my goal, is to be able to get to that step. AWS SDKs provides language specific APIs and takes care of many of the connections. Oh yeah, another thing, how did you do this? Eventually you can start making tools and adding to the services, maybe even perhaps upgrade. But anyway, AWS SDKs provides language specific APIs and takes care of many of the connection details, such as calculating signatures, handling requests, retries, and are handling. For more information, see AWS SDKs. Query API provides low-level API actions that you call using HTTPS requests. Using the query API is the most direct way to access Amazon VPC, but it requires that your application handle low-level details such as generating the hash to sign the request and error handling. For more information, see the Amazon EC2 API reference. So, what that is saying is I have no idea, because while I was reading, I wasn't even paying attention to what I was reading. So I have to go back to AWS SDKs and read this again. Provides language specific APIs and takes care of many of the connection details, such as calculating signatures, handling request retries, and error handling. For more information, yeah, all of this stuff you gotta read up on it. You can't just and fully understand what this query API thing is. Well, I do know what a query is, and I do know what an API is, so I pretty much know that this is dealing with like search engine type stuff. Provides low level API actions that you call using HTTPS requests. Using the query API is the most direct way to access Amazon VPC. But it requires that your application handle low level details, such as generating the hash to sign the request and error handling. Low level details. Man. That means you pretty much gonna need to write some stuff. And error handling. For more information, see the Amazon EC2. Yeah. All right. Pricing. This is important. There's no additional charge for using Amazon VPC. You pay the standard rates for the instances and the Amazon EC2 features that you use. There are charges for using a site-to-site VPN connection and using a NAT gateway. For more information, see Amazon VPC pricing and Amazon EC2 pricing. So, yeah, I mean, of course, that makes sense. Amazon VPC limits. There are quotas on the number of Amazon VPC components that you can provision. You can request an increase for some of these quotas. For more information, see Amazon VPC quotas. They do limit stuff, but they do have a smart system. So if they limit something, it's because you really don't need that, and they're telling you don't need that if you need that. You can put in a request, and if that request makes sense, then they're like, okay, well, yeah, sure. So it's not like that's a bad thing. Actually, that's just to save you from like doing something stupid. Probably like more than likely, that's what it is. Amazon VPC resources, and it's probably for spam protection too. All right, anyway, Amazon VPC resources. To get a hands-on introduction to Amazon VPC, complete getting started with Amazon VPC. This exercise guides you through the steps to create a non-default VPC with a public subnet and to launch an instance into your subnet. If you have a default VPC and you want to get started launching instances into your VPC without performing any additional configuration on your VPC, see launching an EC2 instance into your default VPC. That's what we just did earlier. We launched the EC2 instance into a default VPC. We tried to create one, but I kind of got stuck on a few things and was like, nah, let me just go ahead and do the default thing. Because I couldn't even log into it because it didn't generate the host name. You know, it had the IP address, but it didn't have the actual instance host name. I did whatever. But anyway, okay. To learn about the basic scenarios of Amazon VPC, you can see the examples for VPC. You can cover your VPC and subnets in other ways to suit your needs. That's what I love about AWS. It's so customizable. It's like you can do whatever you want in this bad boy. If you know what you're doing, you could be a beast machine. The following table lists related resources that you might find useful as you work with this service. Yes, you can build an empire working with AWS. And a really sophisticated one. You already see. Like I'm just saying, yo, the detail, man. They explain it to you. It's not hard. You just gotta read it. Resource description: Amazon Virtual Private Cloud connectivity options. Provides an overview of the options for network connectivity. Peering guide describes VPC peering connection scenarios and supported peering configurations. traffic mirroring. How do you say something like that? That's come on, mirroring. Describes traffic mirroring, targets, filters like that. Just say traffic mirror. What is a traffic mirror? Isn't that a rear view mirror? Anyway, or you got your rear view and then you got your side mirrors, but a traffic mirroring. I can't say that. I just don't think that. Okay, anyway, it's too much. All right, describes traffic Think of that word again. All right, I need to drink some water because this word is bothering me. Okay, I ain't even checked to see if my feed is even still live or what. Let me take a pause just to make sure, y'all, because I've been going like straight for a minute. All right, it looks like I'm still live. Let me look at the only way I can really tell is if I look at my phone and then I just press play and go all the way to live and be like, well, it still say I'm live, so yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. All right, so VPCs, we pretty much know what a VPC is. Now they just getting extra with it. Like they going Amazon VPC resources, VPC limits. Like, hey, I don't need to worry about the limit. I just need to know how to use a few of. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a million of them. Amazon VPC resources to get a hands-on introduction to Amazon VPC. Complete getting started with Amazon VPC. So I can click that link, but I already pretty much know from reading this what's up. See, they already gonna start getting started with IPv4 and getting in detail. See, this is why I'm telling y'all, if you want to get started in web development, AWS is really they have a system to where they basically can walk you through how this thing works. And it's not about just HTML, CSS, building a static web page, having a web page. It's being able to support the demands in this type of modern society. Like, things are really fast. And if you have a customer that does boom and has a lot of traffic, how are you going to deal with this traffic? AWS solves those type of problems. Those are serious problems that have to be met, like, on demand. In other words, if I can't meet the demand, the online demand for me or my customer, because due to some my site going down, oh boy, that's a nightmare. That could be the end of a business right there, because most customers is not gonna be patient and stick around and wait on you. They just gonna move on to the next one. Period. Point blank. It is just that, because there's always another competitor, right? So you wanna be trusted, right? So what better way to link up with somebody that's already trusted? You get what I'm saying? They're already well established. They got these stuff all. That's what AWS is. They got all their stuff together, right? And they constantly making it better. And they say, okay, you can come along. Matter of fact, you ain't even gotta come to my house. You just go to my website and log on, and you can hook up to my server and everything for free. Just like a rich white man that I rich white man. That's how I talk. But anyway, it's like that's what it is. It's a rich white man that's cooler than the mother, saying, man, you ain't gotta come to my house and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is go to my website and I'll hook you up. You want to build your dream website and whatever, do it. You want to help other people build their dream websites, go ahead, hack at it. You're gonna have to pay me for it, but I let it be for free, and then as it build, and you can also become APN. What is that? That's an Amazon Partner Network. So if you're really fascinated with their system and using their services as I am, then you would be interested in that, because once you start bringing other people on board and getting them to use their services, in other words, once I start having more clients, as clients start to pour in by the flock, and I have to hire people to help me, right? And be like, yo, I can't do all this by myself, bro. I need some people on my team to manage these websites for me and keep things going. And because I do want to help people at this low cost. And then guess what? My team is going to have to get certified, just like I'm going to have to be certified. And once I have a few members of my team certified, I'm certified to use, as a maybe a architect solutions architect. Well, then they will actually fund my company with maybe like $40,000-$50,000. Yeah, fund it. You get what I'm saying? And we're not talking about this is not a loan. You get what I'm saying? This is not a loan. This is like a reward for becoming a select member, and then you can climb up as you generate, and as these customers that you bring in spend money on using their services, and you get what I'm saying. It's almost like I say almost like, I don't want to say a pyramid scheme, like a multi-level marketing scheme, but it kind of is, because it's like you're getting other people to use their services, and they're gonna reward you for it. But except for, this is not like no scheme or whatever. It's just like, it just makes so much more sense to use. Excuse me. Like now there are other things that you can use. There are other services that you can use. But if you see, I'm not talking to computer nerds who already know everything, and they can use this and they can use that, and they'll experiment with that and test this out, and they got time to do that because they ain't even got no woman. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about that. I'm talking to people who have real lives, real business. They ain't got no time to be learning all this tech stuff. Those are the people that I end up helping. My videos would most likely help people who want to be a nerd, who wants to be savvy at and understand things. And my advice the best advice I can give a person is to stay focused and to read and just take your time and don't rush through this stuff. It's a process, and to just try to perfect every step along the way. Don't try to just get things done the fast way, or try to, there is no shortcuts in computer when it comes to any type of computer programming type of stuff. There just isn't no shortcut to building a website. There's shortcuts to, it might seem like a shortcut, but in the long run, you gonna end up having to, it's gonna bite you in the ass for not knowing, And that's the thing. It's the unknown. Kind of like with this COVID thing. It's not that it's like it might not be that big of a deal, but it's the fact that we don't know it. It's the fact that it could be if we not cautious the way we are. That's what that is. You know, you can say what you want about conspiracy and this and that and the third, but you know, I'm not gonna go there. So, all right, I took a little break and went off on a tangent as I always do, but we pretty much know what a VPC is. I can go in here and go. I'm not gonna go through this like creating a VPC and all of that with the single public subnet, and because I know what it is now. I understand what it's for. I'm going to use it for my own personal use. And if that's what you want to do, you can go through. You can click on the get started thing, and I do want to see what is this. Get started with IPv4 and see what they're talking about there. But it's just IP address. It's the IP address that supports IP. Oh, that's the same thing. See the block. Creates a VPC with a 16 IP CEDAR block and a network with 65,536 private IP addresses. Hold on. In the step, you'll use the Amazon VPC wizard in the blah blah blah. The wizard performs the following steps: creates a VP. But how does it determine 65,536 and the sizing of a VPC? See your VPC. Didn't I look at that before earlier and it didn't really go into detail about? But that's what just threw me off. It just said something like, it said 65,000 and it can be, so you can control the traffic, how many people can come in and out of that virtual private cloud. And then if it get too crowded, you can redirect the rest of that traffic to a different instance that is using that same VPC, is what I'm thinking. Unless you use another VPC and then connect that and route that, cook those up to a route table, and that's what you would use a route table for. Yeah, I'm just thinking, the more I read this stuff, it's just, all right, to get started with the Amazon Virtual Private. I already read those. General overview, VPC and subnet basics. Okay, let's look at this graph. I like this. Look at study graphs or diagrams. Okay, you got the AWS. Why they got it like this to where it's not? I got the full screen going, and it's like I gotta scroll just to see the whole thing, man. Is there any way I could just shrink this so I can see the whole thing? Come on, I'm hitting Control minus, yo. Alright, maybe that's a little bit too much. Didn't mean to shrink it that much. Alright, that'll work. Okay, let's look at this. Because this is how you really understand things, when you can picture it. Alright, you have a router. Destination target 10.0.0.0 16 local. So when it's set for that, the max that could be in that, like, so that's set. Okay, it says when you create a VPC, you must specify a range, blah blah blah. IP of the IP address for the VPC in the form of a classless internet routing block. For example, this is the primary CEDAR block for your VPC. For more information about CEDAR notation, see this. Why they keep doing that? All right, let me see this because I really want to know what's up with this notation. Like, how do you understand it? Classless inter-domain routing. The internet address assignment and aggregation plan. Status of this memo. This document specifies an internet best current practices for the internet community and requests discussion and suggestions, improvements. Okay, what does this have to do with what I'm looking for? Status of this memo. Okay, abstract. Okay, what's on here? That this thing must really go into details. Rules for route advisement, or maybe it's just a full document. It's only a hold on. It says up here classless inter-domain routing, CEDAR, the internet address assignment and aggregation plan. Spec and reference. This memo discusses the strategy for address assignment of the existing 32-bit IP4 address space. Oh, that's why it's called IP4, because it's like 4 spaces. Alright, yeah. But anyway, address space with a view toward conserving the address space and limiting the growth rate of global routing state. This document obsoletes the original classless inter-domain routing spec and RFC 1519 with changes made both. Yeah, good. I almost clicked that and probably would have clicked and read that as if that was like the main thing. But this is the most recent document or updated document for this CEDAR thingamajig. Table of contents. Introduction, history and problem description, classless addressing. Description. Let's look at description. Our introduction is history and problem description. What is now known as the internet started as a research project in the 1970s to design and develop a set of protocols that could be used with many different network technologies to provide a seamless end-to-end facility for interconnecting a diverse set of end systems. When it was determined how the 32-bit address space would be used, certain assumptions were made about the number of organizations to be connected, the number of end systems per organization, and total number of end systems on the network. The end result was the establishment of 3 classes of networks. Class A with 128 possible networks, each of a bunch of numbers, end systems minus special bit. So this is a equation. Values reserved for network. Okay, more like a formula. Broadcast address. Class B, MSB 10 with 16,384 possible networks, each with 65,536 end systems. So that's where that number comes from. And class C, so hold on, well, class B, MSB 10. Oh, so when you use 10 with 16,010 networks, each with 60. Oh, end system. So you got class B. So this is what this notation is. Alright, that's why I was like, it looks like, nah, this is notation right here, because they breaking it down. It says C, blah, 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 of 3 classes of networks. Hold on, what does it say right before that, though? Will be used when it was determined how the 32-bit address space would be used. Certain assumptions were made about the number of organizations to be connected, the number of end systems per organization, and total number of end systems on the network. Oh, okay. That's what that slash separates. There's a slash that is the total of number of end systems on the network. That's so 16 end systems on the network. And so for each end system on the network, it's saying it's like, okay, it says it here. Of three classes of networks, class A, most significant address bits are 00 with 128 possible networks. Each and 16,777 216 end systems. And it says minus special bit values reserved for network slash over the broadcast address. And then class B, MSB 10. Remember that 10.0.0.0 with 16,384 possible networks. These are how many possible networks? And then each with 65,536. That's where that 16, you round it off, is 16,000. That's where that 16 come from, /16. And then you got, but the 10, I don't know. I guess so. It's something like that. And class C, MSB 110, and that's like 209, 70 possible networks each, and 200. Hold on, how many is that? 20,971? No, that's 2,097. No, 2,097,152. So I was wrong with that other number. I knew that was too big. Yeah, that's 16,777,216. All right, I just had to correct that. That was wrong. Sometimes I say things that I really don't mean. That, But anyway, possible networks each and 254 end systems. 256-bit combination minus the reserved all zeros and all ones with patterns. The set of the addresses with MSB 111 was reserved for future use. Parts of this were eventually defined. MSB. So this is some complicated stuff right here. I mean, it's not complicated, but it's just some notation. It's just the way they're explaining this, history and problem description. Okay, that's history and problem description. What about like short description? Like just short and to the point description. What do they have that? Basic concept and prefix notation. Okay. What is the basic concept? In the simplest sense, the change from classic A, B, C network numbers to classless prefixes is to make explicit which bits in a 32-bit IP4 address, version 4 address, I guess that's what the V stands for, are interpreted as the network number associated with the site, and which are the used to number individual end systems within the site. And the CEDR notation, I say CEDR, is probably just CIDR notation, but I say CEDR because that's what it's easier to say that. A prefix is shown as a 4-octet quantity, just like a traditional IP4 address or network number, followed by the / character, followed by a decimal value between 0 and 32. That describes the number of significant bits. So that describes the number of significant bits. And then the other is like the IP address. So like I said, man, that's all it is. It's the freaking IP address. It could be all kinds of numbers. For example, the legacy class B network 172.16.0.0 with an implied network mask of 255.255.0.0 is defined as the prefix 172.16.16.16/16. No, 172.16.0.0/16. I said .16.16. But anyway, the /16 indicating that the mask to extract the network portion of the prefix is a 32-bit value where the most significant 16 bits are ones and the least significant bits are zeros. Similarly, the legacy class C network number 192.168.99.0 is defined as the prefix that number /24. The most significant 24 bits are ones and the least significant 8 bits are zeros. So the most significant 24 bits are ones and the least significant 8 bits are zeros. So this goes deep. This is just something that you could study. Ooh, yeah, this is deep. This is cold right here. This is definitely cold. Notation. Well, I mean, it's to really understand address, the block. One host route, but it is a pattern. It's repetition. I can see that it's definitely programmable. That's probably how they can just spit out different IP address automatically and automate that stuff. But anyway, I don't know. It goes deep. This is a boy. This takes time just to study. This is what I'm saying. This stuff goes deep. Some holes. That's a rabbit hole right there. You ain't gotta know that. I was just wondering, like, where do they get these numbers from and why, and and now I know. I don't fully understand, but I respect it. Let's just put it like that. But this picture, you have this cloud. Okay, yeah, we're in the cloud. This is our VPC. I guess, Okay, it says VPC. What is this? This is this is the VPC right here, and it's a container, and it could because it contains a router, and it's got availability zone A, B, and C. So it has 3 availability zones. I see. Now I'm getting it. Now you got AWS. Oh. See, if AWS has 3, okay. So you got these 3 availability zones. And you can control, you can reroute the traffic. That's why you got a router to route that traffic across these 3 zones. Okay, I can picture that. Now they got a more sophisticated graph or diagram here, where you got your VPC here, your 3 zones. And now you have these instances. I'm guessing that these are EC2 instances because you got an IP address here, subnet. Yep. VPC. Hold on. What is this? This is custom route table right here. Destination. This is the default IP address, and then this is the definitely IP6 address, right? It's a private. Well, it says private IP4, but that's got to be a mistake because private is IP. Yeah, here you go. IPv6. Okay, yeah. But that confused me when they put the 4 here and then they put it up there too. But anyway, okay, so interesting. But what is this just the VPC? by itself. You're setting up a VPC for no, because this is the whole. It's showing you that this is the VPC right here. So this is what's inside. What's connected to it is 1A, 2A, and then 3A. What are these? Are these guys? These are instances. 3 different instances. Well, you got one instance here. You got a public one here, and then you have some. Nah, it's got private too. This is public. This is all public. VPN connection. Okay. So they got, this is the custom route table. This is the main route table right here. For this bad boy. This one, okay. So you got this is an indication that it has HTTP access. This has private access. This right here, this is custom route table. But what is this? This says this is a virtual private gateway, a VPG, a virtual private gateway. And then you have, is that the internet gateway that they were talking about? VPN connection is connecting you to, from the gateway to the customer gateway, corporate network. And that would be okay. Now once they get into this gateway, you got a line goes in, going up to, all the way up to the router. And this router is this route table here. And so you can and every it looks like on each availability zone that there's an instance where it has its own IP address. Is that the same as that one? No, it's the same though. 2001. It is just an illustration, but still, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna read all of this right now. I have to. This is a lot to read, though. Okay. Okay. A VPC spans all over. Sounds like the sound in my headphones is acting funny. Alright. A VPC spans all over the availability zones in the region. After creating a VPC, you can add one or more subnets in each availability zone. So these are subnets. You can optionally add subnets in a local zone, which is an AWS infrastructure deployment that places compute, storage, database, and other select services closer to your end users. A local zone enables your end users to run applications that require single-digit millisecond latencies for information about the regions and support local zones. See available regions in the Amazon EC2 user guide for the Linux instances. When you create a subnet, you specify the seeder block for the subnet, which is a subset of the VPC seeder block. Each subnet must reside entirely within one availability zone and cannot span zones. Availability zones are distinct locations that are engineered to be isolated from failures in other availability zones. By launching instances in separate availability zones, you can protect your applications from the failure of a single location. We assign a unique ID to each subnet. So boy, oh boy. Now you know that diagram that I did. Oh boy, we got some work to do. But this is after we get our website like right. We gonna do this. Actually, I don't think we should wait because this is important anyway. We gonna set this up. I'm gonna set this up. Definitely gonna set this up. I already have an instance running, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set instances up, and two more in these other availability zones, and yeah, I'm gonna set this up. Man, I got a lot of work to do. If subnet's traffic is routed to an internet gateway, the subnet is known as a public subnet. In this diagram, subnet 1 is a public subnet. If you want your instance in a public subnet to communicate with the internet over IP4, it must have a public IP address or an elastic IP address. For more information about public IP addresses, see public IP address. If you want your instance in a public subnet to communicate with the internet over IP6, it must have an IP6 address. If a subnet does not have a route to the internet gateway, the subnet is known as a private subnet. In this diagram, subnet 2 is a private subnet. If a subnet doesn't have a route to the internet gateway, but its traffic routed to a virtual private gateway for a site-to-site VPN connection, the subnet is known as a VPN-only subnet. In this diagram, subnet 3 is a VPN-only subnet. Currently, we do not support IPv6 traffic over a site-to-site VPN connection. Okay, so VPN, we okay, now we know what we can do with VPN. Exactly how we're gonna set all this up is one thing, but let's just focus. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We just wanted to understand what that was. What we really need to fully understand is EC2 instance, because that's what we're going to be working in. And actually, matter of fact, that's really not what we need to be focused on. What we really need to be focused on is WordPress. Okay. Installing WordPress on AWS EC2. Okay, that's what we need to be working on. You starting to, I think you're already starting to see a pattern I don't think, but you will see a pattern that whenever I need to do something, I type it in the browser and you'll see setting up WordPress on Amazon EC2 in 5 minutes. I don't memorize this stuff. I don't even take notes and write it down. The internet is my note. Okay, so, and some of these stuff I have bookmarked, and then I don't even. It's faster to just type it in and it pops up than to be looking through all of the bookmark and saving bits and doing that. You get what I'm saying? The browser saves stuff, but I delete my browser a lot. So yeah, that doesn't really count. But I mean, it pops up. It's usually the first thing that pops up. It's all I need. That's the beautiful thing about programming. Look at this. This is another one right here. It'd be more than one too. Launch your WordPress website, Amazon web. No, that's not the one. I could tell by just looking at it. Amazon Linux, yeah. Hosting a WordPress blog with Amazon Linux. aws.amazon.com. Isn't that the place you want to go? Of course. Okay. So, man, it is getting late, and I am running out of water. And I am running out of gas. Okay. Setting up WordPress on Amazon EC2 in 5 minutes. Now, ain't no way you gonna do this in 5 minutes. What are they talking about? I mean, you can, but okay, it's a lot. It's taking more than 5 minutes for this site to load. What are you talking about? They got more than 5 minutes worth of commands to put in. What are they talking about? There's no way you can do this. I mean, you can do it in 5 minutes. Don't get me wrong. No, you can't. I mean, you can, but no, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. It's gonna take you 1,000 hours to learn how to do it in 5 minutes. You get what you dig? You dig? You ain't gonna just wake up and be like, "Oh, I do it in 5 minutes." You ain't gonna just look at this website, copy everything, and oh, it's done in 5 minutes. 5 minutes already went by. Start my sequel. Man, it's gonna take 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes just to start. Get that right. Install PHP. It's gonna take at least 5 minutes just to do that. Like, for real. Because it has to load. You gotta do sudo app update. And you gotta do this before you even do that. Yum. And then they talking about Yum. No, I'm not. No. This is not. Yum is different distro. And if you notice, I use sudo apt. Like if I was using, I think Red Hat uses Yum. Yeah, I think Red Hat uses Yum. I don't know why, but my headphones is just acting. The wire acting like it got a short in it. Man, yeah, in 5 minutes. I shouldn't even have selected. They just do that just to get somebody to click on a website. I'm not gonna lie to you just so you can click on my site. If I'm like, yo, it might take you 4 hours, cause you might put something wrong and have to go back and do it over again or something. You know, like, don't. That's why I said don't try to rush through nothing. Prepare for it to take longer than what it should take, for just in case, so that way you don't have an aneurysm or something. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't drive you up the wall. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. That's what it stands for. EC2 instance. It stands for Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. That's what the two, C squared. I should have known. I'm so slow. Okay. And I was right. I said Elastic Compute or Cloud. I don't know. I know it's a cloud. I know it's in the cloud. I know it's compute. So, wow, I was right. I was right the whole time. I hate that when I'm right and then I feel like I gotta double check and I was right anyway. Why can't I just accept the fact that I was just right? Oh, I don't know. Okay, here we go. It says to download and unzip WordPress installation. This is what you gotta do. Alright. I'm gonna actually save this page though. I lied. Y'all. I didn't tell the truth. I should pin this page. I don't even know what that pin do. Like, now that I pinned it, what happened? Like, I don't know. Is this it? Is this the page? I don't know. Let me see what else can I. Yeah, let me star it. Can I start it? Yeah. Tutorial hosting, WordPress. Yeah, it speaks for itself. And then just boom. And that goes here. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Oh, la la la. Oh, okay. How to check for public conflict solution, error installation cost. That's recent highlights. This is the stuff that you bookmark. I got other stuff in here too. Actually, it's one. I got one right here. Another one right there that I say. Yeah, that's what I usually do. I bookmark it. If I'm like, yo, this is a good one. It got everything. I don't have to like switch from this document and then look at somebody else's blog on it and then be switching. I like to have one that covers everything of what I'm trying to do for that, task, that specific task. Cause some sites, they don't tell you everything. They leave stuff out. But you can already imagine what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to log into my server like I did earlier, right? And put in all these commands, copy paste all these commands in. So, and that be careful about copy and paste commands. Make sure you understand what you're putting in before you put it in. I made mistakes like this, y'all. I'm telling y'all. If y'all just listen to everything I'm saying, not everything, but when I'm saying please trust me, that's when you really need to listen. Because I'm telling you something that would avoid you from misery. Having heart problems. I have heart problems, y'all. Literally. Y'all don't believe me. Where's my heart medication? What is this? Some kind of thinner? Well, I'm blocking out my name though. Metaprolol. And now I'm not taking it because the side effects. And because I read about it, and so my brother was like, well, you can drink a lot of water. I asked the doctor, well, what do you suggest? The doctor don't. I got one of those doctors that don't. All he want to do is shove some pills down your throat. So I've been drinking the water, and it's been helping. I still get a little dizzy, hoping it's not this corona thing, and if it is, I'm just like, okay, I'm strong. I'll get through this and just drink and be, try to eat as healthy as I possibly can. But yeah, I've been having heart problems. It started like in November, maybe around Thanksgiving time is when I started having issues. Yeah, so kind of like late November, definitely in December is when I really started having issues. It was like, yo, I don't even feel like myself anymore. I can't walk to the store like I used to. I'll walk and feel mad, like really weak and dizzy, and like I'm about to pass out. And then finally the doctor put me on the meds, and the meds work, but they have you feeling weirdly dizzy. Not dizzy as like I was about to pass out kind, but just weird dizzy, like, yo, I gotta be careful. I can't, like, don't, I feel like if I get up real quick, just weird. The room might spin. And yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but it's because I talk a lot. But anyway, yeah, so, but I'm doing much better than I was before when I actually had to see the doctor about it. My brother, this is why I decided to just take the water. Try drinking more water. My brother asked me a question. He said, when you went to the hospital, what was the first thing they did? And He said, they what was the first thing they gave you? And I said, well, they gave me, they took my blood, and then they hooked me up to an IV and gave me, some, water. How did I even know water? Because I actually asked the nurse, like, what? Excuse me, I was just curious, what's in that stuff, that bag? And she was like, it's water. I mean, it's got like salt. She said basically it's salt water. That's what she said. And I was like, interesting. And it's funny that when you drink pickle juice and you drink water, all of the symptoms will go away. Literally. And I'm like, wow, so you mean to tell me I can just drink water versus taking these pills with all these side effects? And by the way, these pills, I read up on them. I can't even take these for longer than 3 years. And they do exactly what my brother said. Before I did look him up, he said, that's going to give you heart problems. He said, don't be taking no blood pressure pills. That's going to give you heart problems. He said, drink water. That's how he said it. And so I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to trust God, because God made water. He didn't make these pills. And drink water. And it's been working. It's been helping. And I've done a little exercise, and not strong exercise like heavy lifting like I would really want to, but I'm just gonna just pray about it and work it on out, But anyway, let's just keep going. Where was we? Okay, installing WordPress. So I'm not gonna go like really install WordPress right now and show you how to do it, but you can do it yourself if you just go here. Here's the link right here. You see the link? Docs, AWS, Amazon, like, well, really all you gotta do is type in install WordPress on AWS EC2. If you do that, you EC2. Just remember WordPress, Amazon EC2, AWS EC2. That's easy. If you can remember that, type that into the Google. You're gonna find a page. This page, you're gonna find this one. This is gonna be one of the ones that's gonna pop up at the top, and this is the one you want because it really does cover everything, and you're gonna want to really take your time and read That's why I was like, 5 minutes. Install WordPress in 5 minutes. They must be talking about GoDaddy or something where you could just click a button and boom, you got it. That's how they got it set up. The trick to that is, not trying to hurt GoDaddy or anything. I used to use GoDaddy, but you ain't gonna have no control over your hosting. With WordPress, with AWS, you basically is GoDaddy. You are the GoDaddy of your hosting. You control the traffic of your website. You can control how fast it's gonna be and how slow it's gonna be. GoDaddy, they going they gonna determine how fast yours is gonna be, and it ain't gonna be fast. It ain't gonna be fast. Forget about that. Don't even think that. They might try to listen. They rich anyway. They good. I'm broke. I'm poor. So, anyway, anywho, I'm just showing you the website that you can go to and go through the steps yourself and Now I don't really have to read through all of this stuff because it got a lot of extra stuff about CloudFront and this, that, and the third. So it's hard to kind of stay on task. There's another one though. I'm gonna try to find another one that's better than this. Than Word. There's install. I'm gonna just type in install WordPress. right? And then type in Linux on a local Linux machine, right? Because you can install it on your local web, your Windows. You can install WordPress on your computer if you wanted to, believe it or not. All of these same commands and everything that you're gonna do, you can do it on your own computer. Install the Apache server and all that. All right. Lamp. Yeah, it's gonna be something like this. Yeah. Whenever you see that lamp, how to install WordPress with lamp. What LAMP stands for is Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. That's what it is. That's basically what we gonna install on the because in order for WordPress to work, you need all of that. You know, AWS a little time. Sometimes they be doing the most in their documentation, but they give you everything. They tell you everything. Don't make mistakes. If you read it and study it, you would know everything. But the thing is, you don't need to know everything to get certain stuff done. You know. So, this is DigitalOcean. Yeah, it is them. It's them. They the ones. They the ones, B. They the ones. They are. I think this is the one that I use when I install my website. Actually, it is DigitalOcean. And you can use their hosting too. I heard theirs is pretty good, but you know, I listen. I'm using AWS, bro. You already know. You already know, bro. Now, why is this going so slow? Yup, this is it. You know how I remember? Because it is icon, baby. This little big old picture banner thing that you see. This is it. That's how I remember it. This is it. Now you look at all of this. You this gonna take 5 minutes? This gonna take you 5 minutes? Ain't no way. No. Unless you got a script that you can just run it and just do all of these things for you in 5 minutes. Where you just fill out a form and it just and then boom, it install everything and do everything all in one few strokes of the key. And you can do that if you wanted to. That's possible for somebody to take the time and build a script like that. But because it's WordPress and you're working on different servers, you might have to do certain things. Like there's certain PHP packages that other distributions might not support, and vice versa. So that's why you have to pretty much do it this way if you gonna make this work. Now, if you already familiar with Linux, then I really don't have to say much. All you got to do is just do this, And really, even if you not, and you took what I taught you from earlier, how to log into your server, create your EC2 instance, and log into your server. Guess what? This is all you need. You ain't even gotta watch my videos. This is all you need right here. This website. Now you can see why I chose the 18 Ubuntu. That's the most recent, most up to date thing. You want to be up to date. But yeah. And you can install that. That's what we're gonna do tomorrow. We're gonna install WordPress on the EC2 instance. I want to do it anyway because I want to get good at doing it like fluently. There is another video that I want you to watch. This is this guy named AliCad. He got a bunch of WordPress videos. I'm a big fan of him. He's not making any new ones, but he's got enough. Man, he got everything that you need to know. People who's trying to ask him to do more videos. Cause I mean, I understand WordPress did update a lot, but come on, man. He's working on his dream project. He's building a software for Linux distribution, for Linux computers, or distribution. I think for the Ubuntu Linux distribution. But he's building, well, pretty. If it'll work on all of the Linux. If it'll work on one, it'll work on all of them. But anyway, like, you know how you got Photoshop and you got Photo Illustrator, and then you got Sketch, and you got all these different programs for UI to design a user interface. But then when it comes to Linux, it's like all you got is like what? I think it's what's that one? GIMP, which is, man, it works if you use it, but it's like, come on, man, it's crappy. It's crappy. And I think Inkscape or something like that. I don't know. Either way it goes, you don't have much to work with when it comes to designing UI in Linux in a Linux environment. So he's working on changing that, which is really big. That's huge. For him to do that, I'm like, wow, yo, I support that 100% all the way. So yeah, check him out at AliCAD. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to his AliCAD. I think that's how he spells. No, that's not how he spells. It's 3D, something like that. Yeah, it's like AliCAD, like that. Or it actually is another D. 3Ds, yeah. There you go, right there. Yeah, he has his own GitHub website. I learned a lot of stuff from this guy. And I will continue to watch his videos and learn from him. Hold on. Why is this happening? Translate this page. Yeah, he speaks another language, so he probably got some stuff that's in another language. I don't know. Probably just go to, if I go to videos, it's probably going to take me straight to, oh, it's misspelled. Oh, man, and this internet is moving so slow all of a sudden. Oh, my gosh. Where did this D come from? Okay, it's AliCAD. Why? This thing acting stupid. And why do I have all these windows open? Close this. Okay, you got AliCAD. Alessandro Castellano. That's his. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he has a lot of videos on coding. But that's who you could check out for yeah, just remember that name. I'm not gonna actually go to this video right now, because I did want to get permission from him to, like, he probably gonna be like, yeah, he's cool like that, but just wanted to let him know that I wanted to, like, use some of his videos for some of my videos, and just make sure I have his permission to do that, and let him know what it's for. It's not to, like, steal his customers or something, but to just, actually, it would kind of, like, promote him if you think about it, but just to use his, his videos is guiding line, because the way he teaches is very, very sufficient, man. This guy is he's a very good teacher. I'm just good at demonstrating things. I'm not gonna. I'm not good at explaining things that I don't think I am. Maybe I am. I just don't know yet. But um, okay. Yeah. See, you gotta do all of this stuff. This ain't gonna take no 5 minutes. You see how long it took for this page? This page ain't even fully loaded, man. I mean, part of that is because I'm streaming and computing out all that. But look at this, man. You gotta go through steps, yo. Steps, and it's easy to accidentally skip a step, yo. You be surprised how many times I did this and still can't do it without skipping a step by accident because I'm always rushing. So this time I'm gonna get through it the right way perfectly. Probably not, but hey, I'm gonna try, yo. This time I'm gonna try hard, yo. Okay, yeah, and then eventually you're gonna get to this point, and that's the man. This is the when you get to this part right here, when you see this, like when you type your IP address in a web browser, and you see this, oh, the feeling, y'all. The feeling is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It makes you feel empowered. Like you just be like, wow, I did it. After all of that, because it's going to take some time. It ain't going to be no 5 minutes. It's going to take at least an hour and some change. Okay? It's going to take some time. Like, because you got to take your time. Got to take your time, because if you don't, if you try to sit up there and pace yourself and be like, oh, I'm getting through this. You gonna type in that IP address and it's gonna say error. It's gonna say database is not accessible, and you gonna be like, I wonder what I did wrong. Then you gonna look back and be like, I did this, I did that, and then you gonna be looking to make sure you did this, and you gonna be like, what did I do wrong? And then you gonna turn around and start changing stuff and effing everything all up. And then you gonna be mad, like, yo, man, I did everything right. Why is everything messed up? And then you gonna start doing other stuff all over again. And then you gonna be just so fed up, you gonna just feel like giving up at that point. Matter of fact, you might say you gonna give up. You might cuss the computer out and everything. Go to sleep, wake up, and then you just gonna have this sudden urge to go back to the computer for no good reason, right? And then you gonna open it up and be like, man, I don't know why this don't work. And then you just gonna look and be like, why didn't I see this? It was a typo. It was a freaking typo. And you just gonna realize you was stressing and wasted so much time just because you just couldn't take your time. Yeah, that's what I done went through a lot of time. As you can tell, the way I explained that story, it was dramatic because I been through that a lot. That's why I said I know I can help people, because I done suffered enough agony. Okay, I didn't did that through this. I didn't up and down. I'm like, yo, I did this, I did that, and then I look at a folder. I'm like, yo, it's another S in WordPress. Then I fixed that, right? Then I fixed that. And then usually if it's the next day, then it usually works. When it's like that, it's like, oh shoot, this don't work. And then I'm like, I'm a beast. I can do it all. I just built the WordPress website, and like, I'm a always like exaggerate and make it 4 hours when it really only it took 8. Cause I'm gonna minus all of that time that I wasted trying to figure out what I did wrong. But yeah, so that's about it, man. It's late, man. All right, let's go. So yeah, that's about it. You're gonna have to put in all of that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this page because we're gonna need this for tomorrow. I'm tired, y'all. Alright. And before we go, you know me. You know how I am. I gotta hit you off with some music. Some Zilla music, some true Zilla music. And that is pretty much it, y'all. I'm yawning and everything and all kinds of stuff, y'all. Like, for real. For real. Let's go ahead and turn that music up and just relax. This was fun. This was fun. I know I got a lot of editing to do. I know that. But I'm still gonna keep the live ones up. This goes deep. This was fun. I know I got a lot of editing. I know that. Okay, the music needs to go up. Why is it doing that? Okay, it is loud. I just want to make sure my music is louder. Alright, that's what's up. This song was created. When did I make this? This is a composition I made in 2014, maybe 2013. I was in New York, right, when I made this. No, I was down south. So it was like 2014, 2013. 13-ish, 14-ish. Yeah. It's in my computer. I know what time. I got the timestamp for it. Alright, that's it, y'all. I'm gonna close it. Y'all have a good night. Much love. Be safe. And don't let and stop watching the news so much. Don't let keep watching the news. Make sure you know what's going on, but don't stay watching it. Just think positive, And I'm gonna continue to pray for me and you. All right, y'all have a good night.